A good day to all. I trust this session finds you doing well. Before I dive down to business, I will once again kindly ask you to take a moment and subscribe to this channel for more insightful, more thought provoking, and ultimately perception expanding content because there surely be more to come. Now, with that being said, what I'll be talking about today is merely an expansion, a build-up on the last video, the last episode that I made, whereby I was talking wholeness. And I remember mentioning the fact that wholeness, or the key rather to wholeness, is non-judgment. And so I thought I should take it upon myself to expand this idea further, to explain, to elaborate, so as to create more clarity around it. That way people can more easily practice it within their own life experiences. And so let me just begin by saying, consider the fact that we often tend to hear people say things like, don't judge me, or don't judge a book by its cover, or why are you judging me, right? This is mainly because of the recognition, the deep recognition that humans are judgmental creatures, or at least we've come to be. We judge everything from right to wrong. We judge good and evil. We judge white and black. And this judging mechanism is stemming from the fact that we inherit will. We have choice, and it's always between two natures, irrespective of situation or time. When we have to choose, although there might be there might be the illusion, or one might create or form the illusion that there's many choices or many options. The choice always boils down to two forms of being which constitute the whole, namely masculine and feminine, as we've come to know them. And this is inherent within creation as a whole. It's a universal principle. There's gender within everything. There's black and white, dark and light, evil and good. And this is expressed within everything in creation, whether we acknowledge the fact or not. And so this this duality inherent in existence forms the basis of our capacity to make choices. And so when we are non-judgmental, we position ourselves in the middle. Basically, that's what I would call balance within being, because balance is always happening around us, or at least what seems to be external reality. There's balance in or permeating throughout creation. Hence, creation seems to be. It's because of the harmony of these interplaying forces, which are the reason behind our existence. Just consider the fact, or consider how we came to be. You were born, and you were conceived by two people, your father and your mother. And the father at least within society, is viewed or perceived as masculine and the mother as feminine. And that's because they represent different aspects of being. Not to say that they are masculine and feminine respectively. It's just that they physically represent the duality of being. And so it takes two for one to become. From the father's seed, there's intention. Within the mother's womb, there's space. That's to say, there's potential. The mother's womb, the feminine energy within the mother, or which is represented within the mother womb, is the fertile ground whereby the seed can now be planted and 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 given space, so to speak, to blossom. And the intention will determine the manifestation, but only because the ground is there, so to speak, the space is there, the potential is there. So feminine is potential, masculine is intention, and when the two come together, they form creation. And that's basically how creation is sustaining itself, because the balance is infinite. It's always there. Otherwise, I could find myself falling through this chair if the 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 balance wasn't perfect, universally speaking, right? And so when it comes to judgment, we subject ourselves to one nature, and you must consider also the fact that as judgmental creatures, we often want the good things of life and often shun the bad things, which defeats the whole purpose of creation. Because the purpose of experience, I meant to say, because to experience or to be experienced is to experience everything fully, despite the nature of experience. Otherwise, when we get to that point of choosing what we want to experience and shunning the rest, we miss out on the lessons that we are supposed to learn in order to evolve. Because all suffering is for a cause, and this cause is always directed towards evolution. It's for the purpose of evolution. Hence, the Buddha once said that everything is suffering, and it took me a while to understand what he meant by that, but now I get it. It's everything is suffering in the sense that we suffer experience. We suffer reality. Whether this suffering might be experienced as love, but it's suffering for the individual experience, more specifically. And so, maintaining a state of non-judgmentalism, if that's a word. That's probably not a word, but let's run with it for now. That's basically to say, to maintain a state of neutrality is you allowing all of experience without any exclusion. You basically include everything. And we've come to a point whereby we are more inclined towards the masculine way of being. Hence, conditioning is possible, because in order to condition a person, it, it always takes an external influence to impose conditioning upon an individual. And this is started very early, hence the individual rarely notices that there's a difference between who he truly is in nature, and what's been taught to him, what's been transferred in terms of beliefs, because we carry beliefs that are not our own, at least more often than not. And only a few people get to the point of actually going against the status quo and actually beginning to embrace the life that they are, which is actually a reflection of the fact that they are now aligning with, in a sense, their spirituality, which is the grounds upon which life is, or rather, the manifestation of experience is supposed to take root. Because otherwise, we establish our experience on ideas which are limited, on conceptions which are only a dissection of a piece of experience as opposed to the whole thing. And so our experience, if that's the case, if we are rooted, or if our sense of who we are is rooted in conceptions, in past experiences, which form the conceptions, then what we are more likely to experience is more of those conceptions, but in different situations. Here's a typical example. You might be, or you might get traumatized. You might have been abused as a child emotionally, and so you grow up to be this self-worth lacking individual, not because you are actually lacking self-worth, but because your sense of self is rooted on past experience, which was conditioning that was imposed from an external point of view by an external influence, so to speak. Could have been your parents, could have been your environment in general, but the point is that you are living outside of yourself. Basically, you are not really in touch with your beingness, with your nature. Hence, you are not really embracing yourself as you are supposed to. And oftentimes, we will get confronted with situations by life, which is infinite intelligence, in in attempts to get you out of your comfort, which is the illusion that you've come to, or you've become accustomed to, what you know as familiar. Basically, that's to say you are forced now to transcend beyond mental limitations, because you are not mind. That's something that's something that everyone, in fact, has to acknowledge in order to live a full experience. I feel as though I have more shit to say. Mind my strong language. I feel like I have more to share, so I'll probably make another part to this, because now I'm looking at the time. And yeah, with that being said, love and light. Until next time, there will definitely be a next time, so be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out. This might change your life. Who knows? Stay open minded.